I adapt person to person. I know that you and I have this kind of communication style and relationship, so we just flow like this.
Yeah.
But for most people, believe it or not, I ask more questions and just let them talk.
Yeah.
Because I really am interested in people.
You're not this big of an idiot. Like on the streets, like what they say on YouTube, you're like, oh, this guy's
an ass.
The one person said that, like when they talk about AI, like how it's like, I don't even know what they were saying, but something about the end of society, and this podcast proves it because of these two idiots. I think they're more talking about you, but...
Oh, well, I hope so. Yeah.
Just because you were the focal point. That's not me throwing shade.
Well, look, that's a good example of somebody who's having an existential crisis. They're dying inside. They're trying to be like, well, who am I? What am I? Am I human?
Yeah.
This is definitely the end of society. Look at these morons. But you know what? The fact that he took the time, or she, I don't know who it was.
I think it was he.
Took the time to declare that to me is a sign there's still hope for humanity. They're still engaged.
Yeah, still I like that.
Yeah. When he's just sitting there silently going, this is the end of society. It doesn't even take the time to leave a negative comment. Then I think we're in trouble.
You could work in Hollywood. They need some employees, I heard.
Thank you.
They're on strike. The writers.
I appreciate that.
You appreciate the writers on strike?
No. I appreciate that you said I could work in Hollywood.
Yeah.
That means a lot because I don't work in Hollywood.
You'd probably be like...
I mean, I've worked with people in Hollywood, but I don't work there.
Yeah. Would you be on... I don't even know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad shit happened in Hollywood over the years. You know who I'm most upset about?
What are you most upset about, Eric?
No, who I'm most upset about.
Okay, pardon. Who are you most upset about?
Kevin Spacey.
Really?
You liked him?
He was a great actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was doing some not so good stuff with boys.
Yeah.
At least allegedly. I mean, I don't know. He got canceled.
Right. But then I could be making this memory up. It seems like recently it came out that the accusation wasn't true. I don't know. You never know.
But if it wasn't true, he'd be back on the scene.
No, he wouldn't.
Really? It's just over. Man, once you lost it.
I'm glad to see Louis C.K. is back in the scene. But he's not back in the scene like he was. So what it is Louis C.K. is blowing up on the underground because he has tons of fans. But mainstream is not really, they're still not willing to,
Yeah. Ooh. Kevin Spacey's coming back with a major role in historical drama, the Mongolian epic 1242.
Well, he comes from Mongolian heritage.
Yeah.
Like we all do.
Okay.
Because of Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
Did a lot of stuff. Spread genetic material everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a history fact.
Aerosmith's going on a farewell tour.
Who gives a shit?
I know it just popped up. With the Black Crowes. That'd be cool.
They're cool, yeah.
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 You don't like Aerosmith?
No.
Not at all. Really?
No.
Why not?
I don't know, man. This is going to sound so shallow.
It's okay.
It's just Steven Tyler. I'm sure he's a good dude.
Why? Oh, wow. It's interesting.
As a child, I was traumatized by his mouth.
So something bothered you?
Yeah, and I don't mean that in a gross way. I mean, just like I'd see him sing, I was like, who has a mouth that big? Like, it just doesn't look right.
Okay.
He has very distinct features.
Yeah. That was like Freddie Prinze, right?
Freddie, what?
Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury. Oh,
not Freddie Prinze
Queen.
Jr.
Yeah, it's like Freddie Prinze Jr. He looks pretty normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll give it to Steven Tyler. I mean, he looks like he's a bona fide rock star.
Yeah.
He had that look, that kind of like, I don't think that look would have passed as, oh, that's good if he wasn't a rock star. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to be, a featurist.
Yeah.
Featurist. I just made that up.
That is good. It took me a second.
You thought I was talking about futurist, but I was talking about featurist, like somebody's features.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about like, you don't date this girl because you don't like her pinky toe.
Well, mostly because I'm married.
Oh, yeah. In another universe, I'm sorry.
No, but in college, I mean, this just shows you how, when we're younger, we're all shallow. I was super shallow in college in this regard. I mean, I was deep in others. No, let me stop making excuses for myself.
Yeah.
I was a moron. I still am, arguably, in some ways. There was this test we used to, and I say test, so being a musical snob, right? So being a musician, you kind of wrap your identity up in that. But in college, me and my buddies, who were all musical snobs, there was one artist who was like the litmus test, and this guy named Jeff Buckley. He died tragically, but the guy's voice is phenomenal, and he was just from another planet. So one of our tests to find out, like, is this girl worth hanging out? I mean, it didn't matter how beautiful she was. I mean, she had a cool personality, great. But you play her some Jeff Buckley, and if she didn't respond with like almost falling on the floor in awe, we're like, nah, she's not on the level.
Wow.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
stupid.
that is dumb.
It was stupid.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing, though, that I don't think is stupid. If a girl was like, oh, I always ask, what kind of music you're into? And she was like, well, I really like Matchbox 20. I was like, I'm out.
That's out. That's it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Or any of that shit from the 90s that was so bad.
Do you listen to it today, though?
God, no. It's still terrible.
Yeah.
Matchbox 20, Smash Mouth. Oh, geez. I can remember them. When you have such a disgust for certain bands, they do stick out there. No, they weren't bad. I mean, Jacob Dylan, of course, he had to try and live up to his dad's shadow. That was Bob Dylan's kid. But they were good. I tell you who was great lyrics, great music was the Counting Crows.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were really good. Very good.
Yeah. Mr. Jones, Around Here. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Oh, yeah. They were solid.
I saw a hip hop artist and they were listening to Mr. Jones and they were like just giving him beats. And he'd be like, am I into this beat or not? And it was like, typically considered white 90s music.
Yeah.
And he just like couldn't get over that song.
Yeah. Yeah. Adam Duritz is an incredible songwriter.
Here we go. The Verve Pipe, Third Eye Blind.
Oh. yeah.
The Fray. Well, the Fray was, I thought, a little
I don't know
bit.
who the Fray is.
You would know a couple of their songs. You like Goo Goo Dolls?
Oh, no.
Really?
No.
It's a Buffalo band. It's good stuff.
Well, I mean,
maybe their older stuff was better.
I don't know. That was not my vibe.
Wasn't your thing.
Because it was like teetering on the edge. They were trying to sound like the stuff that I liked. Again,
so you're not a Rob Thomas guy.
Oh God, he was the worst. I just don't understand how he made it. Like his vocals and I don't know. But my respect for Rob Thomas did go up when he appeared in an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia with Sinbad, and it was really funny.
Wow.
And I thought, okay, maybe he's not. Yeah. I mean, again, I'm judging the man's music and his persona on stage and his musical abilities, which I never liked. But as a person, I don't know him.
Yeah.
So that's always my criteria. So I'm judging like the version of them. Just like if somebody's judging
the feature from a distance.
Podcasting Jared.
Yeah.
Right? Until you really know me. This is the only version you know. It's pretty.
I do say that, like, I like Podcast Jared better.
I know. I like it better too.
But at the same time, they're not that different.
They're really not that different. For theatrical reasons, I'll be more expressive.
Yeah. Like, you don't give a shit in a lot of ways. Like, what you say, you'll go talk to anybody.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I enjoy people. I really do. I have fun with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do.
They just have to keep up.
Yeah.
Don't come at with low energy like, I'm just coming.
But if you're not matching, they're not going to match your energy.
Right.
But if you're not within like a radius, it's like, to back off.
Of course. Yeah. Maybe. I'm very self-aware. No, I do.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, unless it's with you, then it's like, okay, doors open.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and just keep just for my own entertainment.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get that.
Because I know you're a safe space for me to do that. Both just randos, no way.
I'm a safe space.
You are.
That makes
Thank
you
you for
feel
that.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hootie and the Blowfish?
Nope.
Nothing.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I played a hole of golf. Is that how you say it? A golf hole with him one time.
Did you really?
Yeah, he was behind us. It was early in the morning.
Darius Rucker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's behind us. Like, do you mind if he plays with you in this hole and then goes ahead of you? You're like, who is it? And you turn around, it's Darius Rucker. It's pretty cool.
We're like, I want to play with you.
That's like some Jimmy Fallon stuff right there. Vertical Horizon. That's another one. I'm just
don't recall.
Yeah.
Who's this guy? He had a stupid. When you say the name of the band, I'll know who it is, but I can see his face right now. They were really popular in the late 90s.
Man, this is like a game right here.
I know this
like
is good.
The listeners are like, give me a couple more clues.
I don't really care like I did back then. I mean, I was
90s. They have weird hair.
Yeah, there was, I've already named the ones that come to mind that were just terrible, like Smash Mouth. Well, you mentioned Third Eye Blind, garbage. Matchbox 20. There's Blink 182.
They were on a tour.
Yeah, don't give a shit.
Yeah.
There was, who's the guy? He had black hair and kind of spiked and really distinct features. And name some more of these bands.
Oh, man.
They sucked, man.
Who are you talking about? Did they sing the song Plush?
No, that's Stone Temple Pilots.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of on the fence with them. Only because I was a big Alice in Chains fan.
Big drug guy.
Oh, yeah. He died. An overdose.
For real?
Yeah.
He was always come to the restaurant that I worked at.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Huh. Interesting stories about
he probably had some issues.
What was his name again? STP.
Yeah, Stone Temple Pilots. The head singer's name was Scott.
I'm drawing a blank on it. Scott Weiland?
Yes. That's him. But that's not the guy I'm talking about. No. This would have fallen in the realm of like all the garbage shit I just mentioned a second ago. Come on, now I'm just
off. Start over.
Yeah. Who's the guy? I can see his face. His face is so clear to me. And I just remember thinking, that's garbage music.
I did not know he passed away. That makes sense, though. Like with drug overdose.
Yep. Yeah. Lane Staley from head singer of Alice in Chains years ago passed away. And then sadly, Chris Cornell, head singer of Soundgarden, he'd been sober and clean for a long time. And then he ended up killing himself about 6 years ago, I think.
It'd be cool. Like, I don't know what the rule is. I don't know if it's 15 seconds, but like as we start bringing up each member, we play a clip.
Yeah.
I mean, they might shut down Saviors of the Metaverse, but that'd be cool.
But that's attention.
But how many seconds can you play it for?
I think it's up to 15 seconds.
Why? Who decides that?
I don't know. I think it's just Creative Commons, copyright, allowances. I don't know.
And then it's after a certain amount of years, it's a free game. I think it ends in the public domain.
Keep reading off some of these garbage 90s bands.
You just go to Spotify and go like,
no.
Matchbox 20 playlist.
Yeah, but you know what that's going to do is just jack up your selections, unless you listen to that crap already.
Don't worry, I got so much. Because when other people get in and kids get into it.
Oh, yeah. That's why I created the family plan, which doesn't seem to be working as well.
Yeah. But still sometimes, because they'll grab your phone and...
Oh, they will not, because they know I'll break their little hands.
Do you remember the first time you got your hands on Spotify? It's kind of game-changing. I do. I was away. That was like a leading question, so I can tell my story.
Yeah.
But no, it wasn't a story. It's just, I remember a person was playing songs. We're in a van. Right, we're in a van, but we're going out. It's like a party van, something like that.
Right, yeah.
And he's like, do you want to pick some music? I'm like, yeah. So I grab his phone. I'm like, the hell is this? He's a college kid. Like, it just come out.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, so I can literally search any song right now and it'll just play it. Kind of like Napster was, but those you had to download and upload it to an MP3 player. And you're just playing Biggie, anything you want, and you just choose it and that's it.
Yeah, but Pandora had already been around for some time.
Yeah, but you couldn't pick the songs. You had to wait. You couldn't go backwards.
I thought,
no.
I've gotten so used to Spotify now that it's just, I'm trying to remember the first time
Pandora was all an algorithm. I heard that's an amazing what they did when they built that thing and the algorithm that they put with it to understand. And they had like all sorts of people listening to music to say, what would the next song be? If you like this song, you'll like that song. So it's like all manual behind the scenes and they entered that in. It's pretty cool.
Which is another good example. When everybody gets freaked out about AI, people have to remember AI is running off of human input. Anyway, get back to the shitty list.
Yeah. How up with it do you think ChatGPT is on the 90s music? If you enjoy Matchbox 20's music, you will also like these similar bands. Third Eye Blind.
Ugh.
It tells you Semi-Charmed Kind of Life.
Oh, God. It's so
ChatGPT is so slow right now. It was working well.
Yeah, man.
Like 5 minutes ago.
Well, you got the free version, right?
No, I got the paid.
Oh.
You know all the extensions they have for this stuff now? But my question is, so if you got an extension and you add to it, it could like read your content. Privacy policy that goes with it. So I've been feeding the privacy policy to ChatGPT and they won't answer the question, which is...
Ulterior motives.
Yeah.
Are you going to continue on?
I am. It's just sitting there.
Oh, man.
They're known for their catchy melodies and emotional lyrics.
I don't know. It's just, who cares? I didn't ask for that commentary.
That's what they say. I know. That's a little bit too much.
Remember how we talked about this in the beginning when we talked about ChatGPT? Not the beginning of this show, but before, in the previous episode. You can almost always spot a ChatGPT generated article or blog because it gives you a lot of information you didn't ask for. And then if it's like, give me the top 5,
So thing I noticed is redundancy in an article.
Yes.
So like, which is presentation style.
Yeah.
Tell them what you're going to tell them.
Tell them again.
Tell them what you told them. Don't interrupt me.
Sorry, my bad.
That was good.
That was good.
Yeah.
Has it still running?
Delve's a big one.
Delve is a good one.
We use Delve now a lot in our words.
Well, see, now you're being influenced by ChatGPT.
But it's just sitting there.
Still sitting there, huh? All right, so let me go to... I'm actually going to go to shitty 90s popular bands. The 20 worst bands from the 90s. Oh, this is good.
You got your list?
Yeah, this is great. Okay, so this comes from mandatory.com. I've never heard of this, but this is great. The 20 worst bands from the 90s you still secretly love. Oh, okay. So I don't secretly love any of this. So there's 311, Everclear. Yeah.
311, I was going to say.
Yeah, they had a following. Our Lady Peace, Collective Soul.
Yeah.
God, they're bad. Everlast. Yeah. Eve 6. That's not the one I was thinking of, but they are shit.
Yeah.
Counting Crows was not terrible.
What's interesting is it's given us the same list that I'd already given you. So it's
Goo Goo
typing
Dolls,
now.
Third Eye Blind, Korn.
Better than Ezra.
Oh, God. Vanilla Ice, he was considered 90s, was he?
Oh, definitely 90s.
The Offspring, they were terrible. Spice Girls, Creed, The Wallflowers, Spin Doctors
Oh, here you
weren't
go.
terrible.
Live, Tonic.
Hanson, Hootie and the Blowfish, Limp Bizkit, they were shit. So obnoxious.
Yeah.
Ace of Base.
I don't compare them to Match
I'm
X
still
Funny.
not seeing my dude, the one that just, maybe he was the head singer of one of these bands.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Now it's going to bother me, but
Yeah,
whatever.
we'll figure. It doesn't matter.
If anybody watching this, give us a list of the top 20 shittiest bands of the 90s.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. We need to rate it.
ChatGPT says musical tastes are subjective.
Of course it does.
God.
Yeah. But
It's got to play the middle because it was called out as being too far left at the beginning. People were freaking out because it
built-in
says,
bias.
write me an essay about Trump and write me an essay about Biden. And the Biden essay was a lot longer. So people were getting all upset. I'm like, geez,
Right. You know.
On a happy note, did you know that COVID's over? They just announced it.
Shut up.
It did.
You kidding me?
The World Health Organization just said it.
Is it over or is it just like, all right, we can't beat this thing? And the rest of the world's known. We can't beat it.
They said that countries need to come out and start moving ahead. Still be concerned, but it's over. The pandemic, it's done. I think it's funny that they needed it.
I know. It's like,
we need an announcement.
What countries are still?
Yeah, that's just us trying to get the COVID warning on the podcast. That's all I'm looking for.
All right. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, it's good.
Not guerrilla marketing. It's guerrilla attention. It's got to be a better, I don't know.
Gorilla glue.
Gorilla glue. Yeah. There's copyright infringement right there.
Is it?
Well, we just said it. They don't
You can
sponsor
use
us.
it.
We could.
We said Pepsi and Coke.
Let's get into more substance.
Yeah, this is terrible.
Things. Yeah. It's my fault. I led us down this road of shit music.
No, it's okay. I mean,
Thank you.
we started with Hollywood.
Yes.
And that's how we got in this path.
Then we got derailed by me.
Yeah.
My bad.
I will say, and I double checked, right? Yesterday, I'm like, I'm excited to be recording today.
Me too.
I feel a little blue. Not bad.
You
But
feel
just
a
like,
little blue?
no, I was. But I was like, this is good. I'm like looking forward to record this podcast. I don't know what it is. We've talked about how doing this stuff, it's good. Like, what's the end game here?
Yeah.
What if it's just to see my friend Jared and talk about, it's an opportunity to go deep. Like, would you really have this kind of conversation out in the open? Like just on a rant? Maybe you would at the bar, drinking a cup of coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Or some Celsius, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I like it. That's my way of saying, this is good. This is very important for me.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're feeling good enough to, I guess, express your need for me in public.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is more than public. This is like out there.
Yeah. I mean, it's just us here.
Yeah.
But we know.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people are going to be watching and listening.
We could be on TV right now.
We could be. Oh, speaking of.
No, I mean like the Truman Show kind of thing. Yeah.
We could be. Yes.
Yeah.
It kind of falls back to that other idea of, it's like, you know, that crow has just been sitting there forever. I just keep getting like distracted. I don't think it's real. Moving. I don't think it's alive. Check this out.
Yeah.
So we submitted a video to America's Funniest Videos. That junk is airing this Sunday.
Your family did?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's my youngest. And my mom had been saying, you guys need to submit that video. She'd been saying that for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And then finally, my wife decided to go ahead and send, or actually, no, my mom actually filled out the paperwork on behalf of her and said, oh, by the way, I submitted this for you. They liked it. And so they got back. And so we had to sign all this other stuff.
I was going to say, I want to see that paperwork.
Yeah. Yeah.
Send us your phone. They own the content now, right?
Well, until I guess it airs.
Could you take that video and post it on YouTube now?
After it airs, I imagine.
So what happens if you did it today? They'd come after you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be bad.
We wouldn't do that because my son would hate us forever.
But think about it. If you know that video is being picked up, you know it would do well on YouTube, TikTok.
Right. But it would do well on YouTube and TikTok after it showed on AF.
Yeah, but that's their feed's going to, like, who owns it now?
That's a good question.
It is a good question.
That's a great question.
What if they own your child? That would suck.
Well, then I'd want some back pay to like for feeding him, also that kind of shit.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, guys, cop it up.
Maybe good for him though. Like going back to your last point last week of coddling.
Yeah.
Maybe he needs that.
Maybe
you're
he
going
does.
to go live with America's Funniest Home Videos.
I need to ruin a moment for my 9-year-old son to teach him a lesson.
Yeah.
It's like you thought you were about to be famous and it was going to be great.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Are his friends at school going to see it?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
But they're not going to know it's him because, he was maybe 2 at the time. He had an obsession with my wife's sports bra.
Okay.
he always wanted it, and he'd wear it on his head too. And so there's this thing where he's just throwing a fit.
This is it.
And my wife is,
send me a
filming
text message when it's on. And
I will. It's on Sunday. I don't know. Is it ABC? Maybe.
Sure.
I don't know.
Sounds all right.
Yeah, we're gonna have ourselves a little watch.
You probably should get that together because they're probably stalking you right now, and they're going to say,
I don't think AFV is that sophisticated.
Yeah,
I really don't.
Yeah, it used to be big time.
I know. Back when Bob Saget was running it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Now it's Ron Bergeron.
Who is it?
Ron Bergeron?
Yeah. Why do I know that name?
Because of Key and Peele. Did you ever watch Key and Peele when they're the sketch when they're on the plane?
Yeah.
Harry's?
Yeah.
They were like, we're about to get our Bergeron.
Yeah, that's good. That was good. All right.
Those guys are so great.
They're really funny.
Yeah, they are. All right. Now you were confessing about how important
I
this
know,
was.
you just ruined this moment. Now I think it killed it.
You know, man, this is all about psychological warfare here. So what I'm doing is I'm controlling the situation, and soon I'm going to ask you for a donation to an unnamed charity that I have no affiliation with, just to prove a point to everybody out here.
Yeah.
See, I've been running a side podcast, just myself.
How's that doing?
Terrible. Whatever.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
You do it for your own sanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's good. This is what this is.
Yes.
This is why people should go find a buddy.
Yeah, find a buddy. I know we're in a loneliness epidemic.
Yeah. Is that still going on?
Of course, man. It was going on before COVID.
Yeah.
It's going on now.
I heard when we talked to going through the whole college process and talked to someone, and they said one of the things that they're trying to do is make sure the student body gets together more often, because what they're finding out in college is the kids are very happy to go online. They don't want to go out in public. And they're not saying to go be the, social butterfly if that's not who you are, but they want to get people back to, like, because a campus is built like the quad in the center, and it's like an oval or whatever. Yeah. It's like a square of buildings. It's in a confined space. Even if it's large, it's still a space. And it's kind of got away from that. Because I was thinking, like, imagine just living in your dorm and taking classes online every day. It just sounds awful.
It does.
And then I think a lot of people, like you had said so often, of like re-entering society. I think a lot of people have a hard time with that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, that's a big one to unravel.
But that's where podcasting comes in.
That's exactly where podcasting.
Find a buddy, turn on the mic.
Job.
Yeah.
We need to bring that back.
I just want to keep going back to it because it's a big deal to me.
It is.
Yeah.
No.
I think it's a big deal to a lot of people, but it takes time.
It does. We were talking about energy earlier. If you and I had the exact same energy, I don't think this would work well. We have very different rhythms.
Okay.
Mine is more spastic. Yours is more normal. You're like a normal human being. And you humor me. So I appreciate that.
I'm basic.
No, you're not basic.
That's what
basic and normal are not the same.
Thank you.
Actually, they are. I didn't mean it like that, though. I didn't mean it like you're basic. You're not basic.
Yeah.
This is great. You have some notes.
I do have notes.
Let's jump into some good stuff here.
No, I just make notes. It doesn't mean I'm going to go there. Like, I like to have a...
Which is what I appreciate.
Yeah, of course. Someone's got to.
Because I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think so.
Someone's got to.
But you started this podcasting kick. I think I've mentioned that before. Because you used to say, come on, man, let's go record something. I'd be like, what the hell are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
And I think that's a big deal for people when they're creating something and anything.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's putting a LinkedIn post out there.
Yeah.
They all feel cringeworthy, though, so much. Like, you can just see through so much of it.
Oh, yeah.
But they're not all, of course.
Right.
Like starting a new job, which is cool. Like, what do you think about those? There's been a lot of those. That's why I bring it up. Every day I go on there.
It's classic LinkedIn post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No judgment.
No. It's like my favorite ones that were really cringeworthy were, thank you, or just hit like 100,000 followers, or thank you to my 100,000 followers. And by the way, I know a lot of the folks that, because I would see that. And a lot of them were like, well, number one, I know for a fact you bought those because I know you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So trying to put this post.
Yeah.
So it's like this humble brag. Oh, I'm so glad. Like, got 100,000 or 500,000 followers or whatever it might be. And I'm just thinking, your content is shit.
Yeah.
Like 500,000 people don't like this. You paid for that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can still do that, but you can buy followers.
Oh, you can. Why not?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not real people.
Click farms. Yeah.
So it's see stuff like that. And just any like the humble brag.
It might even be bots. It could be real people. They live in the Philippines or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah. You could have
they could live in Matthews. I don't mean to call out the Philippines. Yeah. It could be anywhere.
The Philippines is great. I mean, my assistant, she's from the Philippines. Shit, man. She's awesome.
Yeah.
She's been with me for a long time. She's put up with me she's put up with me for a long time.
A lot of people seem to do that.
Yeah. Kind of have that effect.
Yeah.
Drive you to the edge. Then you're just going to feel sorry for me. You're like, he's going to end up on the street if I don't stick with him. Yeah.
A lot of mercy.
That doesn't actually happen. But I'm just thinking, wow, what if that does happen? And I'm totally unaware of it.
That's happening. You go home and it's just...
Now I'm going to think, I'm like, hey, I made a joke, but maybe that joke was real.
Yeah.
And the joke's on me, made by me. Yeah, just going into layers now.
Yeah, I don't know where we are.
I don't either.
Yeah. I will say this. I did some math because I was just curious.
Shut up.
So about, hour and 10 minutes an episode, give or take 50 minutes to an hour and 20 for us.
Yeah.
Okay. How many episodes? This is the 23rd one.
Something.
This is the math I did. If you listen to our podcast, start to finish, episode 1 to where we are now, you've listened to us for almost a day of talking, 23 hours and 10 minutes. It's a long time.
That is a long time.
That is more than you probably talk to your, let's say people who don't live in your house, right?
Yeah.
Relative, a friend, maybe coworker, maybe not. My point is, podcasting's fucking powerful.
No, your point is, we are more important in some people's lives than their own friends. Holy shit.
And
that's
you
amazing. Now I feel like there's a responsibility.
I brought a prop. I didn't mean to. When you pop these bad boys in, these are for anyone's watching.
Yeah.
And they're just in your ears and that person's talking. Think about the podcast you've listened to. Hundreds of hours.
That's a lot.
Like Joe Rogan, people probably have a better relationship with Joe Rogan than they do
with their mom.
It's a lot. I'm just saying it's powerful. I'm not saying we're here to replace your mom.
But that could be a workable marketing tactic.
Yeah.
Saves you the metaverse. It's better than listening to your mom for an hour and a half.
Yeah. But it's good. I'll tell you what, it's powerful shit. When you think about that and you hear the voice of the author reading the book to you for 10 hours.
Yeah. Or you hear the voice of this guy right here.
Yeah.
Talking really low. Like this. ASMR. You're welcome. Hold on. That's for all of our premium subscribers out there. I do that on my OnlyFans page. Well, ASMR.
Yeah, that's when Julian puts the click here button on our YouTube channel.
Right. Takes you to nothing.
Yeah, leads you to nothing. 404 page.
Yeah. It's like, this page does not exist.
Takes you to CNN.com or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Be cool.
Yeah, it would be cool.
Yeah. So that podcasting, man.
It's good stuff.
It is good.
Yeah.
Think about that. We got friends out there now.
Yeah, man. We need to talk about this. Seems like you're really kind of going through some shit right now. Let's break this down.
Yeah, no, you could break what down?
Did your kids walk out on you?
No, my kids are good.
They're still at home?
You're going big moment. I blew my nose. You're supposed to delay and buy me some time.
How bad? Sorry. Take 2.
Yeah.
Kids walk out on you?
No, they didn't.
Yeah, it's like that voice inflection.
Yeah.
They didn't. That's weird.
Kids are good.
Because I actually offered to pay them quite a bit of money to do that because I thought it'd be a funny situation, but they didn't. So
that didn't work out. My son's going to college.
That's right. Going to ASU, which I did trash in the last podcast. My bad.
Wow.
But I trashed it ignorantly because I was just going off of historical.
Yeah, context. No, that was cool though, how you did that. Because you said something, you didn't think of it. You just said it. You went with it.
I don't think before I
think
speak.
We cut it out actually.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I did notice in last week's podcast, there were a few moments where I was like, yeah, I'm getting really aggressive here, but I don't really mean it.
Yeah. That was a little bit more serious. I'd caught up.
Yeah, we did.
It wasn't bad though.
No, I mean, the parts where I got aggressive and I did mean it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd keep those in.
Yeah.
The parts where I got aggressive and I didn't really mean it. Can't really distinguish between the two.
Yeah.
So.
But then we had a conversation about it afterwards.
We did. We made up.
Well, I was never mad.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to make up. We had a conversation. You're like, oh, I didn't think of it like that.
What's your son going to study again?
Sports business.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But he's fascinated by youth sports. You know what? Here's the thing. A lot of these colleges make you declare a major before you even get to school. How would you even know?
So stupid.
It's like most colleges. When you apply, you have to apply to the school inside of, not all.
Yeah.
I would say a healthy majority of them do. Because most kids change a couple, 2 to 3 times. They change their major.
Well, I can't.
He's changed his major. I just keep interrupting you every time you talk. Yeah. No, he started in sports business, went to psychology, and is back in sports business.
And this is all before going to school.
Never been to school.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, look, man, when I went to college, I declared a communications major once I got there.
Right.
I was like, wow, that seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
Again, I applied to one school, got in.
Yeah.
And that wasn't because
You're a comm major?
No, I was. Then I dropped that after my sophomore year. 2 years off, came back, and then got a degree in history and English creative writing. 2 things I really enjoy.
Okay.
Yeah. Communications would have been cool too.
Yeah, I did that. That's what I did.
Communications?
Yeah.
Which makes sense. You're in the communications.
Wow, look at
field.
that.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Me.
It all worked out.
I went from history, English creative writing straight into being an independent insurance broker.
Yeah.
Did that for 11 years. That was great. And then went on to get a graduate degree in strategic foresight and future studies and been doing that for the past 12 years.
Yeah.
What's next for me?
I don't know.
Onlyfans.com. Check it out. / No.
Yeah. I mean, so I don't know. You have to be able to adjust. I mean, like, here's the thing. What are you interested in right now?
Yeah.
What do you think you might be interested in? Pursue that thing, but be open to change. Like, you're going to run across, a famous line in the insurance business and the life insurance business is, how did you get in the life insurance business? As someone tricked me. I fell into it, something along those lines, because I was out here doing this. And next thing you know, I'm working at MetLife selling life insurance. It just happens. Right? I don't know. I needed a job and I started doing it and I liked it and so on and so forth. So, I mean.
Well, so kind of going back to this with the college.
Yeah.
Part of the fallacy, I think, with this idea of declaring a major beforehand is the idea that you need to specialize in something. Specialization, and this is not my idea. This has been around for some time. Success in the future is really becoming a generalist. You want to be able to have a working knowledge of a number of different things, but specializing in one thing leaves you very vulnerable to disruption.
Yeah.
Again, there are certain things that it's good to get advanced degrees in because of the type of work you're doing, like being a doctor, a surgeon, an engineer, right? You don't want just somebody like, I'm a writing minor or I'm a writing major with an interest in engineering. So I think I'm going to go, design structures that people will live in. I mean, like, you got to know how to do that.
Right.
That's not a really good example.
Yeah, it wasn't the best, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
What about, so I think of two things. One is you have certain skills in areas, right? So you could talk about, I would imagine a skill that you think is important is your soft skills, right? Communication, being able to communicate in different ways, talking, writing, turning on a microphone, having a conversation, answering questions, being able to talk to a stranger, being able to talk to different people of different ages and talk, like, how do you see those skills? I mean, I suppose you could learn those things in college, public speaking. And I think you learn that skill just by living, right? Going to talk to your professor. Like, I have to talk to you about this issue, or changing your schedule, or I don't like my roommate, or what have you, or going to a restaurant and ordering food. Like, sometimes you're like, that's not a big deal. Like, that's always been a big deal.
Yeah.
For my son, especially.
Boy, the first time I met you, your son was still in elementary school. And you told me socially, he has great conversations with adults. In fact, I think he's more intelligent because he could have thoughtful conversations with people that were 3 times his age, and they really enjoyed it. I was like, man, this kid is he's articulate. He thinks a lot. That's the kind of skill you need to have.
Yeah.
In fact, I heard a new way of defining what's been called soft skills, and this is from the dean of the School of Communications at UT. I was just there. They've got some cool stuff going on that I can't talk about right now, but I may have the opportunity to do some work in. That really actually starts to address some of the issues we've talked about with college. But he was referring to what we've typically understood as soft skills, and he referred to them as power skills. It's like, lots of times when people try to redefine stuff, it just sounds stupid. But when he was talking about these, just very matter of fact, I had to stop and I said, what are power skills? He goes, well, it's what people traditionally think of as soft skills. So there's very much the same mindset that having the ability to connect with other human beings, to hold a conversation, to look somebody in the face, basic stuff that we think of as traditionally soft skills. I mean, because you're not pounding a nail into a wall, it's a soft skill.
Yeah.
These are really the skills that you need to have to be successful in the future.
Yeah.
Because a lot of hard skills, what we understand as hard skills, are going to be done by, either through automation, robotics, AI.
Yeah. So how do you look at it? Because you could say a lot of the hard skills right now are being focused on computer science, engineering, right? How do you differentiate the two to say, like, well, not everyone needs to be an engineer. Not everyone needs to learn how to code. I guess, how do you see all that? Like, what do you think of when I say that? Ooh, it's like an interview question.
Yeah, it's a really, but we'll be a little more specific like that. That was a good little...
throwback. Oh, man. No, I'm the host here, motherfucker. No.
This is my show.
Yeah, bitch. Yeah, no, I mean, I think a lot of kids could be thinking they got it. And I'm not saying this is bad. If you're an engineer and you're into that stuff, I mean, I got 3 kids and they're all very different. Yeah. And my youngest is definitely more inclined to, like, has very great skills on a computer. Say, okay, that's great. And say, okay, but you look at someone else, like my son, who's got the power skills.
Yeah.
But the one who's got the power skills in school, that's not what's necessarily the thing that's seen. It's more the academics, or I guess the athletics would fall behind it.
It's seen, but it's not the metric that's used to determine success.
Well, none of them are, right?
Well,
but you're saying that the power skills, formerly known as soft skills.
Let's call them power skills.
Yeah, power
skills.
skills.
Credit's due, man. Thank you, UT.
Yeah, Rocky Top.
Maybe have him on the show at some point.
I like that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
He can send his application and we'll see.
Send his application to the show.
Yeah. I mean, we got a long list, but
yeah.
Okay, so what are you saying in regards to?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's noticed. Again, if you're just looking at what's on paper, then it's not noticed. But one of the things that really helps people when they graduate are going to be recommendations from professors or people that they've worked with. And your ability to interact, to think critically. I mean, honestly, if you go to talk to any professor that's been around, again, I'm generalizing here, but I can think back to my professors. I didn't make the best grades, but I had great relationships with my professors. They were really encouraging, and they would, write recommendations for me, whatever I needed.
Yeah.
So they didn't just go, well, let me take a look at your papers. Well, sorry, dude, your grades aren't where they need to be. I mean, I think you're a great guy, but I'm not going to write your recommendation. Yeah. Because humans are going to, as much as we like to say, oh yeah, we're very fact-driven, data-centric, all that, that's really all secondary to the relationship that you have with another human being.
Yeah.
I mean, the old adages, right? People do business with people that they like. That's not just some catchy, oh, well, that's neat.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
That's also why I think a lot of the fear around AI is, if you really look at it, it's really more concentrated to a very small group of people. But it's blown up. Like, oh God, everybody needs to be afraid of AI.
Yeah.
I just don't agree with that at all.
Yeah.
If you're working in a very specialized field where AI could do your job much faster, more efficiently, then yeah, it's something you should be concerned about. But for the vast majority of people, human-to-human connection is still the fuel and what really creates opportunity.
It's just that is not, it can be seen to a degree when you're younger, but I think it's like you said, that's not the focus. Like, for example, applying to college, unless you showcase that somewhere through your writing or through some other medium or an interview, it's very hard. But even an interview, I guess that's soft power skills.
Yeah.
But just like the daily interactions that you're talking about. But I think that's where you go to learn about that stuff, because so often you've lived in your parents' house and now you're going to live on your own a little bit.
Yeah. And then move back to your parents' house.
Exactly. Well, with the way rents are, I mean,
oh my God, man. Yeah.
It's got to be tough.
Yeah. And then it's
post-COVID too, because I guess a lot of millennials were buying houses, but then...
No, they weren't.
No, during COVID, when the things were cheap in the lakes,
Dude, do you know who's buying up most of the houses during
COVID? I know
COVID?
the companies, the investment property. Yeah, they're losing money right now, though.
Of course, because right? I mean, so they bought up all these properties, interest rates go up, and so...
But at the time, so like Virginia Beach and places like that, you read about in the news, so who knows what's true, but they're buying $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 homes, very low interest rates, record low interest rates, and then they're stuck. Because, if you sell, what are you going to do? The rent's too high. You can't go buy another house because the house that you want to buy now is $500,000. And you're making a lot of money on the sale, so that's a good thing.
Well, if you had a low interest rate and you bought during that time, our house appreciated to a stupid degree, as we've talked about before.
Yeah.
I was like, the material in the home is not even worth that.
Yeah.
But it's because of where we are in the school district.
Hopefully your future buyer doesn't hear this. Yeah.
Well, no,
because your future buyer is definitely a listener of our podcast.
Oh, for sure. I'm telling you, the thing that's going to sell our house, create a bidding war, is that backyard office. That thing is a sweet addition.
Yeah, you should take that with you.
It's not mobile. You'd have to tear it down.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Anyway, just build another one.
Oh, there you go.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do it a little different this time. So anyway, all that aside, what were we talking about?
College. Soft skills, power skills.
Yeah, look, the
importance of them.
Yeah, you have to be able to connect and relate with another human being.
Yeah.
To me, it's just the basics.
Yeah.
Nail that.
But you need a little bit of everything too, right? Like, it's hard to find that quality of everything that you want in one person. That's why there's usually teams of people.
Yeah.
This person's good at this. This person's good at that. You put them together and it's like, oh, wow, this person can go create the software. Right. This person can go out and sell it. This person can go out and get us investors. This person is networked to whatever, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, of course, man.
Pretty basic stuff, but
it is. At high level here, we talked about this in one of the shows. My thinking is that a lot of this concern around AI right now is more about an existential crisis, asking the question, how do we define a human?
Sure.
Right? I haven't heard this interview. I've heard other people talk about this, so I don't know if it's real or not. Elon Musk was being interviewed by somebody, or he was at a party, and he was talking about the fear of AI and why we need to stop. And somebody referred to him as a speciesist, I guess a speciest or something. Like, oh, well, that's like instead of a racist, you're a speciest. And he said, yeah, I guess I am. And to me, if that's true, which it very well could not be, number one, that just sounds like asinine shit that tech elites would say, not the majority of people. But it's an idea, or it's a belief that AI, once it hits a certain point, will need to have rights, will need to be recognized as something that's alive. These kinds of questions I think are really spurned, not so much about, oh, the tech is going to get so advanced that it's going to make us irrelevant. I think the real fear is we haven't spent enough time, or we have moved away from, we've become obsessed with material things, surface level stuff. That's what we've been incentivized for. It doesn't mean that every person believes that. It just means that even as much as I can say, hey, living in an economy where we're incentivized to consume is not a sustainable practice, we all know that. Amazon, love them, but the fact that I can order stuff and go, okay, I don't like that, and send it back for free, it doesn't cost me anything. And it kind of incentivizes me just to order shit and send most of it back, right? Like, that's not sustainable.
Yeah.
Or ordering crap and then throwing it out. Like, that's not sustainable. But it meets that materialistic need of, I need more stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Even if it's just small stuff. Like, oh, great, that'll be convenient. I'll get that today. Right? So I think that's really at the heart of where a lot of the concern around AI is that we've really been denying a lot of our own humanity. It's also why we have a loneliness epidemic. It's this hyper focus on tech. That's where I think it really comes down to, where we're at as people is really trying to figure out what makes up a human. What is human value? Because if we're just looking at it, apples to apples with AI and human productivity, well, in a lot of cases, AI is going to win out.
Yeah.
But if we don't define what it means to really be a human, because honestly, if we can get back to that, if we can answer that question again, and we have this collective understanding of the value of human life, then a lot of just the childish shit that we see online and the atrocities that we see, a lot of those things I think will go away. It doesn't mean they'll go away permanently.
Yeah.
But there's just a lot of just inhumane behavior.
Yeah.
That's prevalent in social media.
Yeah.
In particular.
But I think that word, it's not sustainable. There's a lot of things that we see, but it was NFTs, like the value of the NFTs, that was not sustainable. NIL, which is in college sports right now, and these athletes getting paid and paid and paid, and like it's just a free for all. It's the Wild West. It's not sustainable.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of AI and like the tech, as we're surrounded by tech at the moment, right? Mm-hmm. It isn't sustainable. And I think you do need to come off of it a little bit. Like you said, if you just continue to order everything from Amazon, you'll run out of money. The earth probably can't sustain all of the crap that comes with it.
No.
Right? Like it's just stuff everywhere.
Right, yeah.
And like you said, you could have it. Ronnie Chang has the greatest bit about it at the beginning of his Netflix stand-up. And he talks about it, and they just throw in napkins. Like you have 100 napkins with your to-go order. Like I don't need any napkins.
Well, that's interesting because I don't get, like I always have to ask for napkins. Like, y'all left out the napkins.
Yeah,
sorry about that. You just pull them out one at a time in this little box.
Oh yeah, like the little flimsy ones too that don't do anything.
Like, what is this?
You have a messy barbecue sandwich. That's not going to work.
Yeah.
Use your t-shirt. You could.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sustainability.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it's good, man. That's why I like the show.
Yeah, man.
Because you can you're okay with it. Because if you had this with a person on the street, they'd be like, fuck, can you let me talk?
Well, I wouldn't have this kind of conversation with a person on the street. Right. And that's the difference, right?
Yeah.
I adapt person to person. I know that you and I have this kind of communication style and relationship. So we just flow like this.
Yeah.
But for most people, believe it or not, I ask more questions and just let them talk.
Yeah.
Because I really am interested in
people. You're not this big of an idiot. Like on the streets, like what they say on YouTube, you're like, oh, this guy's
an ass.
The one person said that, like when they talk about AI, like how it's like I don't even know what they were saying, but something about the end of society, and this podcast proves it because of these two idiots. I think they're more talking about you, but.
Oh, well, I hope so. Yeah.
Just because you were the focal point. That's not me definitely throwing shade.
Well, look, that's a good example of somebody who's having an existential crisis. They're dying inside. They're trying to feel like, well, who am I? What am I? Am I human?
Yeah.
This is definitely the end of society. Look at these morons. But you know what? The fact that he took the time, or she, I don't know who it was.
I think it was he.
Took the time to declare that to me is a sign there's still hope for humanity. They're still engaged.
Yeah, still I like that.
Yeah. When he's just sitting there silently going, this is the end of society. It doesn't even take the time to leave a negative comment. Then I think we're in trouble.
That's interesting. Because you would say the fact that person did take the time to leave something negative would say like, holy shit. Like you're the one
leaving society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how you spun that.
Still has an opinion.
That's positive. Like
I'm
thinking.
Optimistic, man.
I like that. Yeah. Optimistic's a better word.
You do have to think on a serious level. Throughout human history, we've faced major change. The dominant viewpoint has always been, oh God, this is going to end everything. And it hasn't. I'm not saying it won't.
Yeah. It's not sustainable. College is another one. College pricing. It's not sustainable. They continue. Like, where are we going to be in 10 years?
It's a shit ROI. as we've talked about.
We talked about, but you made a point. Like there was other aspects of it that you still saw. Like you're not advocating against going to college.
No. I mean, yeah, like I said, if somebody else is paying for it and everything else, then great.
Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, again, like I was just at UT. I love going there.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, the energy is good. You'll find that on college campuses in general.
Yeah.
You definitely realize how old you are when you go there on a weekend. I was there on a Saturday evening, and I was like, oh man, I need to go and pick up some stuff. And again, like I had to go. It's like, oh yeah, I need to go get. Because my thumb is infected. It's like, I need to go get some bandages and a couple of things. And so I'm walking because I got to go to the pharmacy. I was like, so number one, I'm definitely old. Number two, it's about 9:00 at night, and there's a lot of young people out, a lot of students out, and they're obviously getting ready to party. And then I thought to myself, this isn't even a fraction. They're just getting done with dinner.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'm getting ready to go to bed.
Yeah.
It's like, God, and I'm looking around like they all just look so young.
Yeah.
I was like, what a waste. If I could have their energy,
Yeah.
No. But I love the environment. There is a lot of benefits to it, right? When we're just talking hard numbers, what's the ROI? Like you can have this great experience for 4 years, then you get out and go, oh shit, man, now it's the real world.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's where the major thing comes in. Because I do think these colleges do want to help you get a job, and that helps their numbers, right? So they're doing it for their own sake, so they can charge more to say, we got 100% of our kids' jobs. This is the average salary. This is the type of companies they went to work for. This is the businesses that they started. But I think that's my point of like, what's your aim? It doesn't mean you'll go that, but you're doing something. Okay, so if you have that aim, there's certain things you can do along the way. So you go to college, you do this. And, so we talk about Arizona State, like what's the purpose of going across the country to go into school like that? And then that's what you look at. First of all, you look at individually. What is that individual? That's what matters in this process.
Yeah.
What do you want and what don't you want?
Yeah.
That helps you make decisions. It qualifies. Sure. It's like a query on a computer. Run it, and then it gives you the options. And so then you continue to, use that feedback loop to help make your decision. What are you going to say?
Well, I was going to say, but that's the important part. They have to be clear on what they want.
Yeah.
Most kids aren't. And a lot of kids these days, they've been told what they want.
Right.
And so then they go off and they get into college, and then they start, at some point, they're going to have a breakdown going like, I didn't actually want this.
Yeah.
Holy shit, you're telling me I could actually decide what I want? I don't even know what I want. I don't even know who I am. Who am I? Am I real?
Yeah.
Which I also think could be playing into why there's such a hyper focus on how people identify. That's however you identify. Why is there this...
a need to fit in, maybe?
Yeah, it's like, I need to figure out my purpose because it's always kind of been told to me. But now I'm at this place where, how do I identify? Right? And I'm not just talking about like gender or sexual orientation or any of those types of things. It can be in anything.
Right.
That's my hypothesis. I could be wrong completely on that, should not be unheard of.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just thinking about human psychology, just thinking about human experience in and of itself. We have survived and evolved as long as we have because of our dependence on each other, right? Tribes were successful because every person in the tribe knew that the person to their left or the right, without them, they're not going to survive. Everything was a big family. It's also why if another tribe came close, you're like, if they're a threat, we're going to fight.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm not, glorifying the caveman days. But what I'm saying is that we have a certain biological imperative to get along with each other. And in that getting along with each other, it's also because here's my purpose, right? You need an environment that gives purpose.
Fitting in.
For sure.
Yeah.
Fitting in is, when people are like, oh, you're just trying to fit in. It's like, well, that's because fitting in is really important. Now, compromising yourself to fit in is not good.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Well, when you look at it, so you go down this process, I just give an anecdotal from my family. Like, so my son plays soccer. He's a goalkeeper. So when you go to the school, one thing that happens is kids are playing all these different sports.
Yeah.
Then colleges sign them and they go play D1, D2, D3, pick a sport of that, right?
Yeah.
So he gets offered to go play college soccer at a school that, number one, love to do it. Like that's always been a dream of his.
Yeah.
He made that dream come true by getting this offer, by getting money, the whole thing.
Yeah.
It didn't fit this type of school he wanted to be at.
Yeah.
But that was not an easy decision.
No. Getting to play D1 is a pretty big deal.
Or D3, whatever. But all these kids are showing up and they're having their signing day.
Yeah.
And so you have to think about it, no matter what you are, even if you don't play a sport or if you do play a sport, that's a lot of attention to give.
Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kids at his school, like the folks are showing up to
they do it at
signing?
every school.
Ooh.
They do it every
They
school.
never did that at my school.
Now they do it.
But again,
They would do it for like the top player.
right.
right? Now they do it for every kid.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so they have multiple signing days, which is good look on the school. It's not a bad thing. And it's not a bad thing for that kid.
It's a sense of envy. Like, ooh, I want to be that too.
Or it's just honor or celebrate success.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's just, that'd be cool to be a part of or whatever. I don't know what kids are thinking. But to your point, do they want to do it? Or are they doing it because, and that's very generally speaking, because some kids, this is what they want to do, 100%. But, and then they end up and they play and it turns out, I don't even want to play anymore. I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
So it is to the point of like, what do you want to do? And what do you want out of it? And that was like the whole concept of going to a specific school. So like when he said, I want to live in a city. I want to have opportunity internships. I want to have major sports teams around me. I want to have young people. So if he's training, right now he's training kids in soccer, fourth graders, fifth graders, and whatnot,
that's cool.
And building a business. Well, you can continue to do that in these places.
Yeah.
And carry those skills and like meet people and network and go to a game and meet another parent that says, can you train my kid? And that's, you have a new client. So there's a lot that goes into whatever you're doing. And it's just having that, I think having that aim is super important. Doesn't mean that aim can completely change and you go into politics. Like it doesn't, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I mean, how many people, even if they play D1 sports or any college sports, make it to the pro level?
Yeah.
Not a lot.
And the D1 thing, I'm talking about D1, D2, D3, NAIA, JUCO. There's levels of it. Then there's semi-pro. Yeah. And then there's, and the competition you face in certain sports versus other sports that are growing. So
then there's underground, but there's no rules, lots of blood and death and buried bodies. Yeah. That's
fun.
That one's great.
It's like Fight Club.
Yeah. So like football, but it's underground.
Underground football.
Underground football.
Yeah.
I've got nowhere to go with that.
No.
Scrap that. That was not good.
That wasn't good. You delete it. Sorry, Julian.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I think is good about your son, though, is that he's very self-aware to know what he wants.
It's what you think you want. And then you go down that path and you adjust. Yeah.
It never has to be, oh, well, I've got my 10-year plan mapped out, because how often does that work out?
Right.
I mean, things are going to come up where
but those plans to have, I think, are great.
Sure.
Understanding that thing could change because you don't know.
Yeah.
Right. Like you could say, I'm going to be on Broadway. Awesome plan, right? Go down that path. You do certain things. Netflix comes calling. They want you to be in a TV show.
Yeah.
And then you have a decision to make.
Right.
It's very different.
Do I sell out and go to Netflix? Or do I, remain poor and stay on the stage?
Right.
Do I be a poor extra on Broadway?
A lot of decisions that people have to make.
Yeah.
Because, they don't make a lot, but Lin-Manuel Miranda does, right?
Yeah, but again, percentages. How many people have been on Broadway?
100%.
That you don't know who they are?
You said percentages. I said 100%. So,
well, there we go.
Yeah, that's it.
Just run and sink.
Yeah.
So good.
We should have a Facebook group. You've been on Facebook groups lately?
I never go with them.
Facebook groups can be okay. They could be toxic if you have the right group. I only bring it up because Facebook's doing well. Meta's doing well.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They had a good, in April.
What was the cause of that?
I believe they cut costs. Advertising dollars went up. I think their AI that they're using, because they're talking about how AI in their advertising is going to do a lot better than just whatever they used before. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
And I wonder too.
And AI is going to be able to artificially give you the product that they know you want. And so people are like, oh, I don't want that. I'd be like, maybe you do.
Yeah. Give me an example.
I don't know what you want for dinner tonight. Somehow they can have an algorithm that figures out that you wanted Chinese food. You'd be like, yes, I did. And who's going to argue if they...
Interesting.
I don't know if that was the answer, but
I just have to wonder what kind of data, what kind of input or behavioral signals would have to be accessible to the AI to determine that. Because again, you always have to remember, AI is...
They probably want to know everything because they want to know what were your bathroom habits today?
Yeah, but you'd have to have a smart toilet. So think about this.
Well, yeah, that's
funny. But no, it is. Yeah, have a smart toilet. I think the Japanese had a toilet that would analyze your urine and your feces.
Yeah.
It'd kind of signal you hey, you need to go to the doctor. That's a little too much blood.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. You went there. I mean, it could have just been had the runs or something.
It's I can be serious and it's I gotta go childish for a minute. I'm sorry. Because it is funny.
Yeah.
So if you really think about the interconnectedness of all this, you've got a smart toilet that can show you what you're deficient in and all these other types of things, and maybe data from that. There could be historical data. So his historical data based on the nutrients, your lack of nutrients, all these other little factors. The alkaline levels, right? I'm talking nonsense about things I don't know.
Though.
But it's not.
Yeah.
And then that data right there, over time, that's what would feed the algorithm. And then also kind of seeing patterns. And a lot of it had to be voluntary data. It's like, hey, look, for more self-quantification. That's why we have all these devices like Whoop or, an Apple Watch or anything else that's giving all this data about yourself. Like, hey, are you recovered enough to work out today? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you this or that? Blood oxygen level, all this other kind of stuff. A lot of those, I don't know how accurate they actually can be, but the intention is there. And so you now throw in the toilet data, and AI basically can synthesize all that and then start to pick up patterns. Like maybe when you're at a certain level of nutrients or whatever in your body, what it's noticed is that, unconsciously you're like, oh, I eat Chinese food. Like that kind of tells my body, goes, I think I'm really want some Chinese food today. Yeah. And then they can link that back to anytime your levels get to this, you're missing these nutrients or whatever it could be, whatever data they could pull from your urine and feces.
Yeah. But you know what it would do? So the auto GPT, it would order the food for you, and it would know what time to consume the food at before your bedtime. And that would be your dinner. And
right, but you wouldn't be surprised by it.
No.
It would let you know like, hey.
Oh yeah, ordered your Chinese food. It'll be at 6:30.
Yeah. And it would say, made this order here. But it would also set it up. Because the one thing that people, I don't think will ever get comfortable with is just completely outsourcing decisions to AI. I mean, I'm oppositional by nature. So anytime if AI says, like if AI were to take the initiative and order food for me, I'd be like, fuck you, AI.
Yeah.
I didn't want that. How do you know that I want that?
Yeah.
Like, well, based on this system, I'm like, shut it. You know?
But it's right. And you just want to admit it. And over the years,
I want to make the decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. So instead, you have to really look at it as a partnership. Like it makes a suggestion.
Yeah. Well, that's what like Netflix does. If you like these shows, you'll love this show.
I can't find anything good on Netflix. I know, I'm going to cancel this shit.
But eventually, it'll just play it, and it's just going to know exactly what you want to watch.
Yeah.
You need some comedy in your life, or you need some dark shit. Or you know what? Netflix got really big into podcasting. Saviors of the Metaverse comes on. No, it hasn't yet. That's in the future. You should know.
Yeah.
I'm not talking
we should talk about Netflix. But
YouTube Music has gotten into podcasts. So anyway, this unrelated.
Yeah, I'm really want to stay on
food,
urine and feces. Oh, food. Okay. Yes, all of that.
Yeah.
Human beings want to participate. They want to see AI not as taking over, but as a friend, as an assistant. Somebody who's just, look, hey man, you know what? And it's not like it's sneaky, like, hey, we're actually analyzing your piss and shit.
But why couldn't it? Why couldn't you get a snarky or like one with a big attitude?
Yeah, but that should be a selection.
Correct. Like my Siri is like a British soccer announcer. I think it's great.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Siri is just worthless.
It's so pointless.
It is the worst. Like it never responds when you want it to. It'll chime in randomly.
Well, there is actually a setting you can do on Apple. And you can, instead of talking to Siri, you say, hey, GPT. And GPT comes in and you're talking to GPT. So that
Chat GPT?
Yeah, so it somehow connects to it. So you're given access. But
Siri's connecting to it? No,
not Siri. Like you're just eliminating Siri. But you can do it with Bing because Microsoft's done that.
Oh, yeah, that's that other search engine.
Yeah. Well, they got GPT.
I know.
So they're like, fuck off, Microsoft and Google. Or actually, fuck, they are Microsoft. Sorry.
Yeah.
Apple and Google.
Yeah.
Safari.
Yeah. Well, AI owns all of them.
Pretty much. Yeah. I think it's good.
We're the technological project that was created by AI.
Yeah. I think all of these things, this microphone, this iPad, this water cup, keeps the water cold, all this stuff, the phones that are surrounding us. There's a TV on the wall that's like, I don't think it's ever been on. Cars driving by the street.
I see them.
The guys outside using hammers to, you know what they are? AI? It's a tool.
Yeah.
What you make of it?
Yeah.
But sometimes I do agree. Like, we got to turn this shit off. Okay. I know you listen to books and use Audible.
I do actually read. You know, that's just a joke. When I'm like, I don't read. You know, I've had some people be like, oh, no, he doesn't read.
I think it's amazing. You could pull out your phone. My phone's up there right now.
Yeah.
Open your Kindle. You have a selection of books.
Right.
But if I had to bring a book to the office, I'd have to pick one. I don't know if I'm going to be in the mood to read that book later. Maybe something else. I like them all. I like paper, hardback, Kindle. Audible.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you're on a Kindle, it's also technology.
Yeah.
And sometimes we do need to disconnect from that shit.
Yeah.
And just like put it away.
I like, if I'm reading a book, because most of my books are on Kindle now.
Yeah.
Like I have a separate Kindle device that does not connect to other apps or anything.
Yeah.
It's not like a Fire tablet or anything like that. It's just it's the old school.
Paperwhite.
Yeah. And I like that. That's fine.
That's good.
But I also like the tactile element of holding a real book.
Yeah.
Because, if I go on my phone or anything, or even see in my library all these books, it's just like going to Netflix. It's just overwhelmed with options. I'm like, oh, geez.
Yeah, there's a whole thing around families that they don't know what to watch.
Right. There's something really good about saying, I've got only a handful of options here, and I have to physically grab this. And then what it does also, I think, is that it creates intention, because if you have unlimited options, you go, hey, I'm just going to read whatever I'm in the mood for. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if that's our default setting now, then you don't have to think ahead. You don't have to be intentional. You can say, I think I'm going to read a book. Well, let's see what I got. And all of a sudden, you spend more time trying to figure out what you want to read. And then you're going through this decision-making process of, well, what should I read? What am I in the mood for? What am I in this? What is that? Yeah. And then you don't end up reading anything.
Yeah.
But if beforehand you say, you know what, I've got 4 books here, and I really have been wanting to read this, it forces you to say, I need to make time to sit down, shut everything off, and read this book.
Right. I like that. Yeah. Well, that's like a TV show. So say, I want to watch Breaking Bad, Yellowstone.
Yeah.
That's it. Because once you start deviating, you start like 4 shows. Yeah. Oh, those are good.
I know they're good, right?
Those are old people shows.
Oh, yeah. Well, Yellowstone definitely is. But it's good, though.
Yeah. I'm way behind on it.
So am I. I mean, I got through the 4th season because I was free, and then now there's like a 5th season.
What's it on Paramount Plus now?
I guess.
There's so many streaming apps. Oh, dude. Can they just put it? It's unreal.
The vast majority of stuff that's on all these streaming platforms is dog shit.
What's your favorite? I think HBO Max is, but it's not going to be HBO Max anymore.
No, they're about to incorporate Discovery.
Oh, I don't know. It's just going to be called Max.
Yeah, that's true. So I need to cancel my Discovery. So, I think the one that I'm enjoying the most right now, though, is Hulu, which I never thought would happen.
Yeah, Hulu's good stuff.
I spent a lot of time there.
How I Met Your Mother is on there.
Well, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is on there, which is...
Family Guy.
Yeah, that's on there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't really taken time to watch that as much, although I know it's funny.
Yeah.
But It's Always Sunny is my happy place.
Okay. Charlie Day, right?
Yeah. Charlie Day, Rob McElhenney, and how am I drawing a blank on this?
Glenn Howerton.
Glenn Howerton, yep. Yeah. Caitlin Olsen, who plays Deandra.
Caitlin Olsen, who is that?
Caitlin Olsen is D, Sweet D.
Okay. No, but what's her background?
Oh, I mean, she, has been on It's Always Sunny from the beginning.
Wow.
She's an actress.
She's not one of the Olsen twins.
No.
I'm sorry.
No. Yeah, different.
Sorry.
No, that's, who are the Olsen twins? That's,
well, there's a third one who's the more famous one now.
But she's not a twin.
No, she's a sister.
Clearly, because twins are 2.
Yeah.
So look at that math.
Yeah, I like that math. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. What's our time like?
Over an hour.
Oh, boy.
That means you got to go.
I do have to go.
Yeah.
I got kids to watch.
I don't even know. Was this a good one?
I enjoyed this, and I think at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. Sometimes we'll record something, I'm like, it's whatever.
Yeah.
And then, it turns out to be pretty good. Maybe a lot of that's due to Julian.
I think so.
Big shout out to Jules. That's his new nickname,
I
Jules.
like Jules.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
It's good, man.